Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, XLM, XRP, QNT, and so much more. We're going to be talking about the vast market itself. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate that. And if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, or interesting in any sort of way possible, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. Now, overall, we have been watching a lot of factors. I myself have been watching dominance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the dollar, the indices, the US 10-year, yield. We're watching a lot of factors. And I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about exactly why, but first off, I do want to really quickly address what has happened throughout this market right now. We're kind of sitting sideways. We're seeing some movement across the board on some altcoins. On the 24-hour span, you guys can see some of them kind of making some nice, gains. On the 7-day span, you can really kind of see some altcoins breaking out. More so, I'm focused on OG laggard assets like Zcash, Dash as well. We're seeing some movement throughout the board on a lot of those legacy gems, which is very key to really kind of see where money is flowing throughout this market. But I am watching dominance. We know that dominance is a direct correlation with altcoins having that massive rally similar to 2017, 2018, 2013, 2014. We want to see Bitcoin dominance falling while Bitcoin is skyrocketing in price, and we will most likely see that. Honestly, I'm going to be addressing this and talking about this in this video, so let's move forward. So first off, the dollar. Now the dollar and the indices, because I do have both of them open, are not currently trading live. These are now, they had their nice closing points, so these are frozen right now. But I will say this. The dollar broke above the 702 yet again, hit massive support at about the 618 fib level, and now we are hoping and praying on Monday when this reopens again, we do not see a massive rally. We actually want to see the opposite. We want to see exactly what happened on the 9th of March. Do I need to tell you guys exactly why? Well, first off, all we have to do is go look at Bitcoin on the 9th of March. Here's that massive rally event. Okay, and similar, this is exactly what will happen if we do have a nice dropping point. If we do break down below this, support zone, there's really not a lot of support left from here. We would most likely come down and test around this 94 level. Key, thing to watch is what kind of crashing formation are we going to have? Are we going to have this massive parabolic drop? I mean, honestly, if we are looking back into the March of 2020 dropping point, we came down about 4.66%. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but just so you guys know, just the other day, we're talking about a 1.67% drop in price, while Bitcoin itself, from these lows, had a nice little, 12.57% rally. Now, if we drop from our current level, maybe we do a 4.66% drop in price. Well, look at where 4.66 roughly puts us. Almost exactly on that 382 level. If this is the case, if we have this drop in price, we will most likely see a nice rally on Bitcoin well above the 48K level. That will be very, very bullish for us. No matter where dominance levels are, it will be very bullish for Bitcoin, because right now what we are hoping for is Bitcoin to actually have a major rally. We want a lot of spotlight on Bitcoin. We want crypto, retail demand growing, and this is exactly how it forms with Bitcoin. Bitcoin brings a lot of money into the yard, and of course that money flows into altcoins. Now, of course, the major indices I'm also watching, because these, again, frozen. They do not open until Monday. Had a very rough day on Friday. In fact, you guys can see it right here across the board. S&P 555 negative points, negative 286 points on the NASDAQ, and of course, negative 229 points on the Dow Jones. But all while this is happening, I'm also watching the 10-year yield. Again, this won't open until Monday, but the 10-year actually prints us a little bit of a better picture on the risk to reward ratio that individuals are, more than happy to risk into investments that are like crypto and stocks. So this is actually very good for us. And I don't need to show you guys that. I mean, if you guys go back to, March of 2020, you guys can really kind of see this flat line formation that we came down and, hit some very massive lows. Look at this. This was crazy. And during this time, we were in a bear market pretty much for crypto. So right now, a lot of individuals are not too worried right now. Even in terms of inflation, we are still seeing individuals wanting to put their money into risk assets. That's what this graph is telling us. That's what the 10-year yield tells us. So overall, I do believe that money will flow into crypto. I think that we will see a major demand. Now, where does that put our altcoins at, right? Because we're still watching Bitcoin, but we're also watching altcoins. Now, a lot of altcoin formations kind of look like this. This is QNT. Okay, trading sideways along this, support zone. It's a very tight support zone. Same goes for Hbar. Okay, for an example, Hbar has been trading along this bottom fib level for a very long time, kind of holding the line, but in a tight formation. I have a demand zone down here if we do see a drop on Bitcoin. I'm watching it closely. But XRP and XLM are a little bit different. They're still on this tight rope. They have been trading sideways. A little bit of a price increase, same with XLM, right? But they are still below a multi-year resistance level. QNT, below a resistance level. Hbar, resistance level. XRP, multi-year resistance level at 92 cents. XLM, this 25 cents almost, or 24 cents level, is the same exact level as this 92 cent level. They need to break out of these resistance zones. The issue here, okay, is their Bitcoin pairs. Because although their USD pairs look fairly similar, some of them look like this, a tightening rope, but then some of them, they have had, a little bit better days. They look very bearish. They're still below resistance levels. They need to break out of these levels and actually regrasp a large portion of fib levels. More so that 236 on Hedera is a key one that it really needs to grasp. Even XRP and XLM are in similar boats. These are all very similar patterns that we will see until this market actually gets very bullish. Right now, are we still macro bullish? 100%. But this is what we want to see. Okay, XRP has printed us a nice little picture on what we want to see. This is that demand zone on the Bitcoin price chart for XRP that I've had on this chart for a very long time. This is the level that we want to see. And yesterday we peaked a little bit above it, but this is that resistance level similar to all of these other Bitcoin pairs that we want to break out of. XLM is also in a very similar boat, like I said, where it has this massive bearish Bitcoin price chart. A lot of these do. The difference here is that when we are seeing a major breakout event on these, we do see a major bull run. Here's that 2018 level. So right now, these are preparing those levels. You guys can see, where we currently are compared to like the 2017 lows. They will have this nasty correction followed by sideways tightening before they officially skyrocket out. I believe that we are very close to this level on a lot of altcoins, but we still watch Bitcoin closely here because we are still awaiting Bitcoin's breakout event. I believe that that is closing in. In fact, I believe that we are on a macro bottom level. In fact, we do see here, still very likely the macro bottom is in on Bitcoin. And here we have those levels printed out for us, followed by, of course, the supply ratio compared to the price action and all-time highs. Now, we do see, to clarify, there's obviously is still a chance we get a capitulation event making a new low. My current estimation for that would be 27.5K, but don't get your hopes up. And I'm in a very similar boat on that. Like, we can have capitulation all the way down to like 20K plus. I just don't see that happening. If anything, if we did break down, we would most likely break down to about 36K. But it looks like there's a lot of support at about the 382 level, which is printed on the chart for us. Now, with this in mind, we are also looking at some other analysts because, trust me, I love to have second opinions, and we have a second opinion in this video from Credible Crypto. We see update, we're unable to push back to 42.5K, so this count is still in play. Movement up to 40 to 41K, red is noise. A break above 42.5K is still very bullish / significant if we get it. If we do go lower, expecting a higher low at 36K, lower bound of triangle, still in primary count. And here we have that, right? Now, 36K, the reason why I was mentioning that is because that is the 236. It's also a level going as far back. I mean, you guys could really kind of see this level being played out during, the summer. There was a lot of demand zone here. And of course, during, even back in, it was February before we had that nice spike to the all-time highs back there. It's a strong demand zone. but also it is our 236 level. And when we are talking about these levels, these usually do get targeted. But is it necessary for us to actually hit those levels? No, not exactly. But I will say the likelihood of that being targeted is fairly high, and we'll most likely see that on Monday, if of course the indices open fairly red, if the dollar's continuing to climb up in price. The 10-year yield, I'm watching this because it just tells us that there's still a lot of demand for risk ratio investments for the retail demand. Now, if we do break out of 42.5K, do I get bullish? Yes, I do get bullish. But am I going to get bullish, or I shouldn't say, am I going to get extremely bullish? No. 46K is the point where I start to get very bullish, because that breaks above the, this monthly resistance level that we're watching closely. Now, we do see here my argument for Bitcoin top not being in using a single tweet, the one below the single chart version of my bullish thesis. There is obviously more to it. Made a 20-minute video on YouTube that goes in depth, but the premise is simple. This time is not different. We do see here, this is the fifth wave on Bitcoin, going all the way to around like 2022 to 2023 in between, right? We don't know exactly when, but it's sometime within 2022 where we will see these highs being targeted. This is like around almost 100 and like roughly almost 180K, within that range. Honestly, when we are talking about this, this time is not different at all. I want you guys to realize that right now, currently, in this entire structure that we are in for Bitcoin, we are watching altcoins closely because we are accumulating these altcoins that are at extremely low levels. Okay, and you could really kind of see that in terms of some of their Bitcoin price charts, but also when we are talking about everything that is happening within this market, there's a lot of adoption happening for crypto. There's a lot of bullish news coming out as well. And I'm not trying to say, buy the bullish news at all. I'm just saying when we are talking about everything that is happening around crypto, there's nothing that's telling me that we are in a bear market. Bitcoin is still holding these levels very strongly. There's a lot of factors that are telling me the 10-year yield by itself is telling me that there's still a lot of demand for these risk ratio investments, which crypto is one of the best ones. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that this gave you a little bit of a better insight. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely hit that like, subscribe to notifications on button. And with that being said, if you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.